Is ESPN kicking the NBA out of its worldwide leader in sports machine? I'm going to tell you why the NBA has now become ESPN's stepchild. Welcome to the OD. I'm Coach Smith. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button before we get into it. So ESPN has struck a major deal with the NFL, allowing them to acquire the NFL Network, the NFL Red Zone channel, and other NFL media assets in exchange for the NFL owning 10% equity in the network. Now, that's a crazy situation because this affects the NBA in a whole lot of ways. And when I say this isn't good news for the NBA, it gets worse, trust me. So shortly after the NFL deal was announced, the WWE struck a deal with ESPN and the Disney Group to stream all of its live pay-per-view events on the new streaming platform that ESPN is about to launch. So pretty much, WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam will all be going over to stream on ESPN. So what does it mean for the NBA in layman's terms? The man said they got moved from that nice one-bedroom suite upstairs to the unfurnished basement with the high bathroom in the ESPN household. Let me break it down for you. First of all, the NFL, they rule the sports scene in America. They already dominate Thanksgiving. Super Bowl Sunday has become a big spectacle. And now they're even trying to take Christmas away from the NBA. They crush the NBA in ratings and every other thing you hear about the little products that the NFL has, even down to fantasy football, it runs circles around the NBA. So now that they own a percentage of ESPN, you could really expect the NBA coverage to really take a hit. And you could expect a lot of those NBA dollars that were allocated for marketing and promos to be shifted over to the Shield. And then you have the WWE side. Now let's be real, don't expect the WWE to partner with ESPN at this capacity to get a small slice of the pie. And when you bring your biggest assets over to ESPN, I'm talking about Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, somebody's going to have to take a back seat. And I think that'll be Adam Silver in the NBA. What will make ESPN justify doing that? Let's look at the numbers. Now, the NFL is in the class in their own because in the regular season, they have an average of 17.9 million viewers. The closest the NBA even got to that was the NBA Finals in Game 7 when they had 16.4 million viewers. Now, looking at it from the WWE standpoint, their biggest draws are WrestleMania and WWE Raw that airs on Mondays on Netflix. Now, WrestleMania 41 on their second night, because it's a two-day event now, they had an average of 2.8 million viewers. WWE Raw, which airs every Monday on Netflix, they get 2.7 million viewers. Now, looking at the NBA numbers, they're not even on par with WrestleMania or WWE Raw. I say averaging 1.5 million viewers, which is on par for them being with WWE SmackDown, which is the WWE's secondary TV product. Which brings me to my second point. What happens to NBA TV? Now, the thing about NBA TV and the previous broadcasting deal, Turner Sports agreed to handle all the production, all the broadcasting, and do the NBA.com website while they had the agreement. Now, with Turner out of the picture in the new NBA broadcasting deal, what happens to the channel? ESPN hasn't made any news about picking it up, and none of the other partners who are in the new NBA on media rights deal haven't said anything about it. So what happens to that channel? Now, the thing about NBA TV is it was a diehard product for NBA fans. You had analysis, you had draft coverage, you had classic games, and on regular season days, you had full coverage from former NBA players and current NBA players who stop by from time to time. Now, since Amazon or NBC stepped up to acquire NBA TV and take on the media rights for that, ESPN could really throttle what the coverage really looks like on a day-to-day basis. So for NBA TV fans, you have to find a new home for your content 24/7. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be ESPN. And my final question is, how much will ESPN really care about the NBA? Because if you look at their coverage and you look at their content as of right now, it really ranks in the bottom of the food chain as far as, what you get from a day-to-day basis, from the daily broadcast to the NBA countdown to the jump show that comes on. Like, people don't really care about it as much, and they think it's a substandard product. Even when you look at the NBA broadcast, people give a lot of flack to the commentators. And in my opinion, sometimes you better off just watching the game on mute, except if my boy Mark Jones, he out there calling the game. And I think this is why they acquired inside the NBA, because they want to try to cut the payroll of some of the NBA people they have on the network, and they feel like those people aren't contributing to make the product any better. So I get it. ESPN may be feeling like the NBA isn't the product that they felt like it was going to turn out to be. And it's a lot of internal problems that's going on in the NBA right now as far as just who's going to be the next face of the league, and the direction Adam Silver is going in with a lot of different things. But as of right now, it just seems like the NFL is going to take over ESPN when it comes to sports coverage, and WWE will help us seeing a lot of things that's going on right now. And don't even be shocked if you start to see those WWE gimmicks start to happen during the NBA countdown shows and the pregame shows and everything like that. I feel like from this standpoint, the NBA could die slow down on ESPN, but the NFL money and that WWE money will make it a little easier to mourn. So let me know what you think in the comments. Will the NBA be an afterthought at ESPN now? That's all I got for today. Make sure I hit that like and subscribe button. I'm Coach Smith. Until next time, we out.